You are looking to improve your English? I got good news for you. You have come to the right place. Let's learn some English with one of the most American bands ever, the Grateful Dead. Yeah, so I'm so glad that you decided to click on here and join me to learn some English. One of my favorite bands, Grateful Dead. I don't think they're that popular outside of the United States, but they have a big following here in the United States with people in their 70s and younger. So the song we're going to listen to today is called Scarlet Begonias. Scarlet Begonias. Scarlet is a type of red. If you're into Marvel, you might have heard of the Scarlet Witch. They just had a big series with the Scarlet Witch and Vision called WandaVision, Scarlet Witch. On the other channel, I'm going to be doing a look at the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you like learning English with movies, you may want to check that out. But with this, we're going to learn English with a song. Now, that can be a little bit different. Know that sometimes the words will be manipulated. And when I say manipulated, I mean moved around, maybe to rhyme a little bit better, maybe to get that right rhythm, that right meter when you're talking about songs. But it can be an interesting way to learn English, lots of new vocabulary. Let's do it. Wait, before we do it, I forgot to tell you what begonias is. A begonia is a type of flower. And in the song, the character is going to fall in love with some woman he meets on the street. Spoiler alert. And she is going to wear scarlet begonias in her hair. Come on, you gotta like this, right? There's no English here. It's just a good jam. As I was walking round Grosvenor Square. All right, I had to stop it right there. I could have listened to that without even stopping, but let's learn some English. He says, I was walking around Governor Square. The part that I'm interested in here is walking around. When someone says in English that they're walking around, it means they don't really have a destination in mind. They don't know where they are going to go. They don't know where they're going to end up. That's different from saying I'm walking to. That means you have a destination. I'm walking to the store. It's different than saying I'm walking from. So maybe you already went to the store, you're going back home. You can say I'm walking from the store to my house. But the character in this song is just walking around, maybe the center of town, seeing what will happen. He has no plans. Not a chill to the winter, but a nip to the air. He says, not a chill to the winter, but a nip to the air. So that first part, he's manipulating the words, not a chill to the winter. It actually doesn't really go together. But if you are an English speaker, if you know that, you might just like, it's a different way to say it was cold. There's a chill to the winter, but we would never actually say that. The next part, though, I do want to talk about. He says there's a nip in the air. Nip. We often say that if it's just a little bit cold. Ooh, there's a little nip in the air. Maybe fall is turning to winter and it's just starting to get cold. You can say, ooh, I feel a little nip in the air. If you want to sound like a real native and make a very dumb joke, instead of saying there's a nip in the air, you can say it feels a little nipply out. It's a little nipply. When you say that, people will think of nipple. And, nipple, I mean, guys have them, ladies have them, but we pretty much only care about the ones on the ladies, right? So nipple becomes nipply, which came from nip. So if it's a little cold out and you want to make a joke like a native, you can say it's a little nipply out. It could be a dad joke, so be careful where you say that. Most people probably won't find it funny.
From the other direction, she was calling my.
He says, from the other direction, she was calling my eye. Here, he's moving around the words a little bit. You might say she caught my eye, or she was catching my eye, which means you saw her from the other direction. You were walking in opposite directions. You saw her. You thought she looked good, so she caught your eye. Anything that catches your eye means you noticed it, and for some reason you wanted to look at it a little bit longer. Obviously, the narrator of the story of the song thinks this woman is probably pretty attractive.
Could be an illusion, but I might as well try.
He says it could be an illusion, but I might as well try. When something is an illusion, it means your mind is playing tricks on you. You can't quite believe if what you see is real. So maybe she's a little bit further away, but she might not be real. She could be real. She might not be as good as she seems. And sometimes when you see an illusion or you can't believe it's true, you might say, is my mind playing tricks on me? And sorry, the video is so dark, but I think this was made in 1974, so the lighting wasn't as great, but at least the song, I hope, sounds awesome to you.
She had rings on her fingers and bells on her shoes. I knew without asking she was into the blues.
All right, he says she had rings on her fingers, which I get, probably, let's see if I can show you. Yeah, people wear rings on their fingers, but I don't know what the bells on her shoes mean. I guess she was walking around, and as she walked, she was ringing the bells that were on her shoes. I don't know. Maybe that's where the illusion comes in. Maybe you can't believe it. It doesn't make sense to me, but it sounds cool, so I'm good with it. He also says, I knew without asking she was into the blues. So here we have Scarlet Begonias, which is red. And we have the blues. That is a type of music. One of the few types of music, I think, that was actually invented in the United States, the blues. And just like it sounds, blues, the color blue often means sadness in English. I'm not sure what it means in your language, but when you listen to the blues or when you play the blues, it does have a bit of a mood that's sadness. If you are interested in learning more about the blues, I will leave a couple links in the description to an artist named B.B. King and another one named Muddy Waters. Check it out. It's really good music. When he says she was into the blues, it means she liked the blues. I am really into the Grateful Dead. I love this band. I hope you're really into learning English.
She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. I knew right away she was not like other girls. Are
you dancing a little bit when that music is playing? The rest of my family hates this music, but I love it. If you don't love it, I understand. I get it. It's not for everyone. He says she wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. So let's talk about that phrasal verb, tucked in. Parents might tuck in their kids at bedtime. It's when they go into their room, say goodnight. They might actually, to really tuck somebody in, is when you take the bed covers and tuck them under the person's body. That we call tuck in, when you push something into a small space. So the woman in the song has tucked these flowers into her curls. So her hair is curly. I don't have a lot of hair. My hair is not curly, but let's see, curls. That's kind of a curl right there. She tucks some flowers, these scarlet begonias, into her curls. So she has rings on her fingers, bells on her shoes, and flowers in her hair. In the 1960s, we might call her a hippie. Even in the 2020s, we might call her a hippie. I love that line. He says, I knew right away she was not like other girls. So she was special. She was different in some way.
It was too bad to open and too cool to blow. Once in a while you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right.
Oh, it's so good, right? It's so good. There were some things we could have talked about. He's talking about cards and bluffing. If you ever hear somebody bluffing, it means they're not telling the truth. But I love this line right here. Once in a while, you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. Once in a while. That means not every time, but, every so often is another way to say that. There's no exact time when we say once in a while. We just mean it happens every so often. It happens now and again. Those are a couple other ways to describe something that doesn't happen very often. When you get shown the light, that means you get some kind of information. You have some kind of truth you never knew before. In the strangest of places, if you look at it right. So that truth might be there if you just look at normal things differently, if you just open your mind to new possibilities. That line is basically saying be open to new possibilities. Keep an open mind because you never know what you will learn. If you like this, maybe hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you like learning English with music, on my other channel, I have a video I did with the Beatles. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.